29 bulk carriers, 82 tankers, 28 LPG ships. Now coming on to the working condition, I was basically on the ships. Now coming on to the working condition, working environment of the ship. Basically we have a complement of 20 crew at the max, out of which 2 were a galley department, 1 chief cook and 1 steward. 8 or 10 on the deck side, out of which 4 officers and 6 crew, and 8 in the engine room, 4 officers, 4 crew. So technically speaking, in my department, engine department, it was 8 people running the whole show. The working time officially, if you were not at the port, it was from morning 7 to evening 6 for all of us, but for me, for engineers actually it was 1 hour prayer and 2 hours at the end. Because we have to do our prayers a day, job planning. Actually, starting 1 hour, we have to do a job planning. Basically, what is the job you have to do? You have to make required permits to do that work. Because on the ship, everything is basically have to be taken care of. All the risks have to be followed. Why? Because doing a job on the ship, we have to take care that we are not stable. Ship is always moving, so we have to take proper safety into account. Many times it has happened that people haven't taken safety in account and they have lost their lives. Now the challenges involved in job planning, basically, the main problem was the job planning. Everything on the ship was heavyweight. Nothing was less than a 0.5 ton. So, and having such a small crew, you have to manage your time, and it should not prolong. You have to complete within a day. Within 8 hours, you have to finish off the job. Morning you open something or you start some job, maintenance job, you have to finish it off. So you have to plan your workforce accordingly. The other main problem what I told was the working environment. In a rigorous environment, in such a heat, not a friendly environment with the sea, you never know when sea will turn violent or something like this. So you have to take care of all the conditions. Then the biggest challenge that is coming on in the sea is the pirate attacks. And since start, earlier the piracy was in Malacca Strait, around Singapore basically. So the piracy was basically a small theft. They used to board the ship, take some metals and go off. But now it has become a so-called business out of it, where they are hijacking the ship, taking to the Somalian coast and demanding for a ransom. Till now they have been around 600 plus attacks, and out of which 50 vessels have been hijacked. Presently, there are 12 ships under their captive and around 170 crews. I was involved in one of the attempts by them, but luckily we were saved. Many haven't. So it's really a tough situation where you don't want to be in. And then the other big challenge was the following of the international laws and regulations. We were trading in America, Fujairah, Dubai, Gulf region, in Japan. Every country has its own regulation. Like in Gulf, we have to seal everything. Not a single picture or not a single Bible or something should be outside. You have to put everything and lock it up and seal it up. In US and other places, you can't do anything. In other places, there are some norms like this. You have to follow and keep a strict check on the norms. In US, you should not have black plastic. All the food should be segregated. It should not be that if they find a small food waste in your plastic or carbonaceous material, they will ask the ship to go back again. Clear all this, so this will delay in the cargo unloading and further more time. So now what the reporting structure? For me, the reporting structure was, the first reporting structure was chief engineer and then a captain on the ship basically. From there, it was taken forward to around 4 to 5 ships was under a vessel manager, known as vessel manager. He is basically on the shore ensuring the licensing of all the spares, procurement, arrangement of the oil, means all the ship related activities. He is also there if we have some technical problem on the ship. We can discuss it with him and he can get in touch with the technical assistant on the shore, like from the companies, and he can give back us the feedbacks. Then about my job role basically. My major job role was the watch planning, watch keeping, sorry. In the watch keeping basically I was required to monitor the entire parameters of all the machineries. around minimum at least 100 machinery was running in the engine room. You have to monitor each machinery, you have to take care as they are your girlfriends for that 6-month period. Biggest challenge was on the ship was you are on the 6-month vacation or voyage sort of thing. So you don't know what the previous person have done, what is the behavior of it. So you have to take care of it because if a small thing breaks, it lead to a tremendous effect on the ship. Your ship might be stopped, you cannot go further. Various effects. A small thing leads to a drastic effects overall. Then other problem was other job was the inventory management. We followed a EMS schedule for our maintenance. Then our proper planning and forecasting, this was another big problem. Why? Because we were disconnected from the land. So we have to do proper planning and forecasting of the raw materials, spare materials, spare parts. Because what are the maintenance coming? We have to properly protect it and we have to maintain the inventory accordingly. Then about the forecasting, about the oil. We know that we can get the ships are running on a heavy fuel oil basically and diesel oil to an extent. So now ship prefer to give oil in Singapore and Dubai. Why? Because they are cheaper here. Elsewhere it's very expensive. We have to plan it accordingly and keep around some extra in our hand. We make some extra 1 or 2 days voyage extra in our hand because if it finishes off, we are in the Dead Sea, we cannot do anything. Then about the documentation and all, and the biggest challenge was the crew management because you have Filipinos also. Filipinos work while they work. Croatians at 5 o'clock they open their beer bottle, that's it, no more work. And same thing with Russians, same thing with Japanese is another ball again. They will go by a procedure, they have a list of procedure, this. They won't go from 1 to 3. If 2 is not needed, they won't say, but they have to put that tick. And they think that they are the boss. Because my company was Japanese, they think they are the boss. Now coming on the shipping from the logistic aspect. This is overall our overview. Now these two I have displayed. These two are basically about the containers. One more thing I will say, if for the business perspective, if we go into any stream, marketing, so-called marketing or this, so if we see the Häagen-Dazs ice cream, it is in Auckland, the plant that is making is in Auckland, but we are getting in India, Japan, Australia. How it is getting transported? It is getting by the ship only, it is not air freighted. We have a fixed liner services. So what I have shown you here, liner service, first of all, clear is what is liner service. We have in our India, if we take, we have Shatabdi and Rajdhani. They have a fixed time. At 10 o'clock it leaves Delhi and next day morning it will reach Mumbai or somewhere. And it has a fixed stop. And it will halt at this place for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then move forward. Same thing is done for the ships also. They have a fixed route. They have a fixed time duration to stay. This is made for 1 year, entire 1 year. This planning is done for 1 year. And ships are flying accordingly. You can see this is from Japan to Hamburg, Southampton. And here they have written the ETA, expected time of arrival and departure. So as per that, if a ship is leaving Kobe, Japan on Saturday, it will reach after 6th week back to Kobe. The full cycle of 77 days. And this is from Southampton to Auckland and western far east of the US. So this is a major sea route that is covered. If you have to plan anything about the transportation of any cargo, we take into this consideration. Because a small container, maximum we will transfer in 1 container, 2 container cargo. That's it. So liner services come in play there. We have to make sure that the timings are matching as per our requirement. When are the ship coming to the port? Sometimes what happens is people book for a particular shipping company that you take care of my logistics, but their ship don't touch that port. So that don't touch that port. Like for example, in this route, so hardly the ship will come to, if our ship is flying this route, it will hardly come to Dubai. It will go to Jeddah. From Jeddah, it has to be by the road or by the rail network. It has to come by the rail network. So I won't go for this service. I will take a ship that will go to Dubai. So we have to plan accordingly. We have to balance the trade-off. And about the marketing what Ronak told, I have a PDF entire regarding that. You can read it if you want. That's all from my part.
Turnaround time of 17 days
Yes.
from Tokyo to South.
Next, from Tokyo to Tokyo.
Okay, Tokyo to Tokyo. So you can say from Tokyo to Southampton, half of it. 35 days. Okay, 35 days. But if I have to transport something which is perishable, so how it is?
Perishable in the sense.
Refrigerated.
We have actually about the containers. We have refrigerated containers. If we are supplying a small cargo, one container, 2 container, or 10 containers, for the instance, we have a refrigerated cargo. It maintains a certain temperature. All the I can give you the sites. All are listed there. They have a specification that at this temperature the cargo will be maintained. We have a specialized officer on a ship, electrical engineer. He will maintain the daily log. And with the tagging, we have the same on a local panel at our head office in Singapore, technical head office in Singapore. They will be also getting the parameters. They will be also simultaneously monitoring, and every day we will sending a scanned copy of the report to the charterer, those who have shipped it. So they will cross checking whether all the temperature and parameters are maintained. For if we have excess cargo, suppose we have full ship load cargo, we have another service called tram service. I book from Mumbai, I have to get my cargo to Dubai. I book a full ship from Mumbai, it will put at directly to Dubai. It will take 7 days. So that way we can go.
Is there any system to track the ship because the materials where they must be very much
Tracking on the ship is through GPS and radar. You get exact positioning. If you check marinetraffic.com, in that you type a ship, you will get the exact location where it is. It will tell you the exact location because each ship has a call sign. That call sign is typed by the radar and that is displayed every time. 24 hours it is under tracking. Sometimes we switch our radar in the Somalian region. Why? Because Somalia, what they do is, the Somalian pirate, they come on your ship. You see there is a trailer of Captain Phillips on the Facebook. Mohammed Salbama. It was just 10 days before I passed that area. So, what happened is they are on the big ship. The pirates are on the big ship. So there they are seeing the radar and they see a ship is approaching that area. So they will come on the skiffs and try to come near to the ship. The predator ship they have to hijack, and they will try to board the ship. Once they are board, that's the end. So what we do is, as a precautionary manner, we switch our radars and all. We follow the navigation by the stars and all, and set our course once in a day. So during that area, so that we are not able to be trapped by the pirate, any pirate vessels are there. That time only we are switching on the radar, and that too we are informing the head office that we are passing this area. Yeah, it's practically nothing. I have been there once. It's basically small island. If you check on the net, it's small island. Earlier, what happened was, because of not a proper sailing aid, they used to set their course once in a day. So, and because of heavy winds and all, the ship used to get crashed on the islands and all. There is not much. Same thing is happening in South China Sea. You check it, there is a mythology that says that in South China Sea, there was some serpent or something that I have been around 25 countries, around except for Antarctica and Arctic. I have been to everywhere.